it all deep and to be read last night. I know it's Valentine, the morning works look fine. You know the jockeys, brothers are a friend of mine.
Hello racing fans and welcome to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, October 5th races at Hastings. Got 7 races scheduled. It's winding down, only 5 live racing days left. We got this weekend and then of course the 3-day weekend next weekend. We go Saturday, Sunday, Monday, the holiday Monday for Thanksgiving.
October 5th, we are into October. As you mentioned, it is winding down. So yeah, 5 days left. Before we get into the card today, there was 2 stakes last Sunday, the CTHS 3-year-old divisions. The first one we're going to look at here is the girls division. The one to keep your eye on here is the 2-horse Kyrie's Gal, owned by Leo and Norma Shaw, trained by Craig McPherson, ridden by Frank
Always
Fuentes.
breaks well.
She breaks well. I wasn't sure she could get the distance. The only other time she tried this distance was on BC Cup Day. Obviously,
this was a lot eeasier.
Didn't work out for her that day. But yeah, this was a softer field.
But she rated better. I mean, she is running, you know, she's
well,
not ranked, but she's comfortable.
She's into the bit, but comfortable. What do we got? 24 and 1.
That's
we're going to
nice
see out
for
from
her.
here.
You know, she went 22 and 4 on BC Cup Day. I think it was something ridiculous.
Yeah, she's way out there. And that's just kind of the way she clips it along. She goes the next one in 24 and 2. 25 and 1.
Yeah, no, Frank did a good job harnessing her speed. Here comes Allie's Bobcat on the outside. Just broke her maiden. And then there's Cherokee Windsong and Bamboo Dream just in behind. Bamboo Dream had a good trip just in behind them.
That was my pick. I like Bamboo Dream, but she just does not seem to want to go this far. Another horse to keep an eye on, which you can't really see right now, is the 6.
Lafactor in the back of the pack. Last on the outside.
Yeah.
But Kyrie's Gal got a half and 40, almost 48 and 4, very comfortable.
Yeah.
And definitely was the key to success. Still has a length and a half break. No one looked her in the eye yet. She's just a little tiny filly. She's, you know, definitely better at 6.5 furlongs. But this race come up a little light, and you know, Craig, they decided to give her a shot, and definitely
they were rewarded. She was well backed on the board too. She ended up going off as a favorite.
There weren't a lot of options. I mean, I picked the maiden Cherokee Windsong in this race.
Hoping you get a horse to the distance.
But she just didn't fire. Lafactor Wow's out 4 deep right now and rolling.
Makes a big, impressive move.
The Kyrie's Gal is getting the staggers in the stretch here. She is, you know, begging for the finish line, and she did finally get there.
The Factor Wow comes in just not enough time, runs out of room.
But, congratulations to Norma and Leo Shaw. Great job with Kyrie's Gal and Frank Fuentes, Craig McPherson. Good job. Okay, on to the Saturday card. We'll look at that, the Colts and Geldings race, the Hope Seeker race. We'll look at that on the Sunday show. But got fillies and mares in for 8,000 in the Saturday opener. Going to feel the 7 signed on. I'm going to land on the 2-horse Finally Flying, a horse that's dropping out of a 12-5. Good effort, I thought. Behind Mercado, Lasting Spice, and Iliadora. And I think if any of those 3 fillies that were in this race, they would be 1 to 5. So
they'd be a handful.
That was her first race at Hastings this year. She's kind of had an abbreviated campaign. Been running against some pretty good horses in Winnipeg. I know it's a lot easier circuit at Assiniboia Downs, but still she ran quite well. She even lost to Clarice B, who won for 17.5 here at Hastings, over in Edmonton. So she's got good company lines, and she doesn't need the lead. She can sit just in behind the leaders, and I think that's going to be a big plus for her. So I'm going to try Finally Flying for owner trainer Clint Wilson and Ryan Pacheco. I put the 1-horse Brown is Beige in for second. Obviously tough to know what to do with the horse. Primarily running on turf. Her best races are on turf down at Santa Anita, but it does have a bit of dirt for him. No wins, though, on the dirt, but this is easier company for her, and she's been steadily working over our Hastings track, and you always have to respect the connections. Frank gets a shot to ride for the Troy Taylor outfit, and probably going to put this one on the lead and play catch me if you can, and see if, but definitely one you need on your early pick 3s or pick 4s. And I put the 5-horse Forever Me in for third, always a good mainstay. The barn's been going well, and if anyone comes from off the pace, I think it might be her. But I really like Finally Flying. I'm going to take a shot on her. I went 2, 1, and 5.
I have a couple of the same horses. I did put Brown as Beige on top just because she was running fairly competitively. Not the last few, but she did run fairly well most of her life for, 25,000, 30,000.
She's a classier filly
in California, so she does have the back class. But yeah, she hasn't been seen since way back in March. But the work tabs are good. That minute and 4 work. I don't mind her at all. So I put her on top. The second spot I put Lady Born, kind of a streaking horse. Put 3 wins in a row. And I've always found with girls more than boys, when they get good and they start winning, they get confidence, they get to be really dangerous.
Go up the claiming ladder.
Yeah, so I don't mind her in for 8,000. I think she's going the right way. Enrique Gonzalez suits her well, and it wouldn't surprise me to see her in the winner's circle either. In the third spot, I put Your Horse Finally Fine. As you mentioned, great effort last time behind Marcado and Lasting Spice, so she fits in well here too. I got 1, 6, and 2 in the first. On to the second, Fillies and Mares, 4,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime, going a mile and a tick. And I've gone to the 4, Antsy Nancy. The last time she ran into Haida Gui, who was very good that day, on a sloppy track and just ran away from him. But she does have 2 seconds to decent horses in Revster and Haida Gui. I don't think this one came up as tough, so I think it's time for her to break her non-2 condition under Ryan Pacheco, who's rounding out the year in nice form. Ryan's a very underrated rider here, does a good job.
He does get the livest mounts, so it's nice to see him get I picked him in the opener, and you got him in the second race. He's getting some live mounts, which is really good. And he's making the most of them. In the second spot, I put Cochin Becky out of the Mike Anderson barn, a horse that was running very well here long. Earlier on, something went a little bit awry in June, it looks like, and they turned her out. Brought her back in September, and that 6x8 doesn't really bother me because that was her first race back after a long layoff, and now she gets to go long, which is much more her style. So I got Cochin Becky in the second. And the third spot, a horse that just broke its maiden, Medea. She loses her rider to Cochin Becky, but picks up leading rider Amadeo Perez. And the logical spot for Philly just broke her maiden into the non-2-4 spot of the Cindy Krasner barn. I got 4, 7, 6. Yeah, I went to the 7-horse Cochin Becky. This horse is a mile and a 16th horse. This is where this horse will win races, or at least where she runs her best races. Or is it a mile and a 16th? This race come up very light for ability, and I think she fits her perfectly. She got her little prep race last time, as you mentioned. It was just an uneventful run in the slop, going 6.5, but that's not her gig. She shook off a little rust.
The important part is she got the start. Yeah.
Got the start, and he'll set her up for a good effort, and I like Cochin Becky to win it. I put the 3-horse Ellie's Bobcat. I know she ran last weekend. Actually, she's run every weekend for the last little bit, but she actually wasn't disgraced in that sales stake that we just watched behind Fury's Gal. But definitely put her in the mix, and I put the 6 Medea, as you mentioned. Gets Amadeo Perez as Jeff Birmingham opts for the 7-horse Cochin Becky, who also do I. But Medea could certainly win the money, would be a shocker at all. No real standout in the second race, I don't think, but
may want to go a little deep in that.
Cochin Becky, I think, might be the best play, might be the best price play too. I'm going to go 7, 3, and 6. On to the third race, the other half of the split. This is also a non-2 4,000 for Fillies and Mares. Actually, this is gelding. Sorry.
No, this is the boys' end.
This is the boys' end. Mile and 16th will be the trip. Just to feel the 6. I've gone to the 6 excess dividend. Pretty impressed with his run behind Lord Harlow, who came back to run actually very well against the non-winners of 3 types. And but excess dividend was up on the pace. It was a quick one, 23 and 1, 47. Still was fighting all the way down to the line, and this horse is the best horse in the race. If he reproduces that last race, he must win the money. So I'm going to go to excess dividend. That's my best key in the early pick 4. I really think excess dividend's your horse. I put the 2 Extra Moon. Really disappointed in the run last time. Went a little crazy on the head end. Not too sure why they had to set those kind of fractions, because the horse doesn't really need the lead. Can sit off of a horse, but still they went crazy, and it ended up setting it up for Country Cash and others. But I think he'll run a little bit better with better rating. And I put Shingan Bolt in for third, just a horse that took advantage of a hot pace and might have flattered him a bit. I think he's the third best horse. But I think the 6 is miles the best, and the 2 is quite a bit second best, and then the balance, it's just anyone, and I put Shingan Bolt. But 6, 2, 4.
I have the same horses. I did swap the bottom 2. I took XF dividend on top, as you mentioned. He looks like a standout here. Maybe a single in your pick 3, which could lead you to take all in the previous race, which you might need. I put Shingan Bolt in the second spot. As you mentioned, Extra Moon's last race, he was going quick, but I was disappointed just in how he finished and kind of how he fell apart. So that's why I put Shingan Bolt ahead of Extra Moon. But basically, I have the same horse as you. I went 6, 4, and 2 in the third. Not much else to say about that one. On to the fourth. 3-year-olds and up, 4,000 non-winners of the year.
Started the pick 4.
Mile and a 16th. Mile and a 16th, 7 horses. And I went to the 7 Jackman Road for Hall of Fame trainer Alan May, good friend of the Derby Bar and Grill here. This horse has got good lately. He fits the condition because it's non-winners of the year or non-winners of 4 lifetime. He's the streaking horse. He's going very well right now. Absolutely crushed a non-2 field. Came back and win that non-3. And when you can do that, when you can go from a non-2, come right back, beat some of the horses who had beaten him earlier in the year in a non-3, shows me he's really progressing well, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get the money here. The second spot I put Texas Buccaneer, horse with back class, has definitely struggled this year. This hasn't been quite his year. He had a really good year last year, won a couple of endurance races, was really rolling last year. This has not been his year, but they got him down to the $3,500 level last time, and he was a factor. Ran second behind Halo's Quest in front of Joy of the Lord. So I put Texas Buccaneer in the second spot as a horse that is kind of rounding into form. And in the third spot I put Count Green. Another one that was running good early on. Went up and tried those marathon races, which are obviously much tougher than this. And trainer Rami Adderson put him right back in for the 4,000 because he is also eligible for the non-winners of 4 end of the condition. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him be a factor in here either. I got 7, 1, and 2.
Yeah, I do like Jackman Road. I picked against him, but I wouldn't be shocked to see the horse win. I went to the 4 Mazel Print. I think this horse is going to dictate the pace. I thought, had everything his own way last time. Just got beat by a better horse in Minstrel's Time. They went 144 though. I mean, this horse shouldn't need to go in 144 and change to win. But big rider change to Antonio Reyes, and I just think Mazel Print's going to get a much easier time of it on the head end. And if he runs that race back, I think this horse has got to be tough. Jackman Road, the likeliest winner. He's going to get to sit in the 2 path, get an ideal trip just off of Mazel Print. He may run him down. He may run Mazel Print down, but if he doesn't, I think Mazel Print's the logical one that can beat Jackman Road because he will get to control what should be a sensible pace. And I put Texas Buccaneer in for third. I think this horse could win if things get silly up front, but I don't handicap that things will get silly up front.
Yeah.
And because this horse does need a wild pace to make him a winner, but he actually ran a lot better last time behind Halo's Quest. But still, he'll need some pace help to make him a winner. I went 4, 7, and 1. I do like Mazel Print to win race number 4. On to the 5th race. Got some fillies, 2-year-old fillies here, maiden 25,000, going 6.5 furlongs. Got a field of 9 set to go. I went to the 8-horse Lady at War.
Yep.
I thought a pretty good third behind Bluegrass Miss and Fire Beauty. It was a very quick heat, 118 flat. It's quite a drop out of those maiden allowance races into this maiden 25. It's come up kind of light, and definitely for form. A lot of these horses have struggled so far in their races early in their careers. At least Lady at War brings in an excellent last race, and I think if this horse runs that race back, going to be awfully tough. I put the 9-horse Little Blossom in for second. Antonio Reyes rides for Mel Snow. This horse started its career off going 3.5 furlongs. Ran a great race behind Space Junkie, and the final time wasn't super fast, but still I thought it set it up for a good effort. A lot of the skimmings have been doing quite well. The works were good going into that August race. You'll notice 101 and change, 115. Which is what I referred back to because it looks like this horse might be just a half miler if you look at its form. Boy, this horse. But this horse worked 6 furlongs in 115. And I'm not saying the horse finished great in that workout because I didn't see it, but it's at least it's a sign that the horse can go 6 furlongs in a decent time in a workout.
Got a shot too, that's for
sure.
But
ran into Arabella's Muse that day on August the 10th and was out a little wide early. And this horse has got sneaky bad form. Last time at an outside draw, was 5 wide and in the slop. This horse will get, if you look inside, there's not a lot of speed. And so I think the horse will not be 5 wide this time. It might be 2 wide. And I just think that horse might be overlooked in the mutuals. Might be a good 15-1 shot to put in. And the connections do well with their young horses. And this horse isn't that bad bred. I think this horse is better than his form shows. I'm going to put the 4-horse Irish Lyric in for third. They've been tackling tougher, and horse has done some things wrong throughout its career. Actually got loose on parade one day, and he was scratched. He's a little bit of a goofball in the paddock, but look for this horse because he does have enough ability to be in play, so I'm going to put him in for third. I do like the 8 Lady at War. I went 8, 9, and 4 in the 5th race.
I did go to one that had sneaky kind of form. I went with Irish Lyric, owned by our good friend Craven Sorensen. I liked, obviously ran second to Arabella's Muse the day that she absolutely crushed. Came back in a sales take, only got beat 5 lengths, then ran against the boys in a maiden special.
Yeah, that was a tougher race.
Which was a tougher race against Burnley Bear and Brother Chunky. When you look at it, only got beat about 3 lengths for third. It's got beat 12 lengths, but 9 of those were, the first 2 horses. So only got beat about 3 lengths for third, 4 lengths for third. So dropping into an easier spot, I don't mind Irish Lyric at all. The second spot I put Lady at War, the horse you mentioned, obviously going to be probably your favorite in here, dropping out a maiden special weight behind Bluegrass Miss and some pretty live horses. And the third spot, I went with a bit of a long shot here. Another friend of the Derby, George Morgan. Lago di Como, a well-bred son of Giacomo that they got out of the Keeneland sale, and just absolutely got no shot in the first race. Just kind of like fell out of it.
Ran against the boys too.
Ran against the boys, just kind of like fell out of it, but at least she got the start. So I'm looking for her to make a big improvement in her second start because I think she can run a little bit. So I put her in my third spot as a long shot chance. I went 4, 8, and 3 in the fifth. Excuse me, on to the sixth. Very good allowance race. As far as features go, this is a good one they got here today. Allowance race for older horses going 6.5 furlongs. I've gone on the 2-horse Senior Reign. He's only had 2 starts this year. One was on opening day and one was on the 2nd of September. So it's his first time in a while he's made 2 starts kind of like within a reasonable gap of each other. So I think he's sitting on a decent race. There is a ton of gas in here, and I don't think he has to have the lead. I think he can sit just behind the pace and take advantage of what is going to be a hotly contested pace. The second spot, I put another one I think can lay just off it and is in very good form right now, is Crew Leader. Has done very little wrong since being claimed by Teddy Hurt. A nice second behind Liberty Cap, then went down to the Portland Mile and absolutely demolished the field down there, winning by 7. The rider from that day, Debbie Hoonan, Seattle girl that's been riding for many years and doing very well in the Seattle-Portland circuit, she comes up to stick with Crew Leader. I got him in the second spot. And in the third spot, I put the one pace horse that I think can outlast everybody. I think that he's going to be getting leg weary near the end because there is so much gas, and I could see Senior Reign and Crew Leader passing him. But I put Golden Triumph in the third spot because I think of all the speed horses, he's got the class more so than What a Sense of Humor, Hidden Harbor, Similkameen Joey, that he would be the one that's going to outlast them, but is still probably going to cost him the win trying to go with those horses. So I put him in third. I got 2, 3, and 5.
Yeah, I've gone to the 5 Golden Triumph. I don't love the horse. I'm just worried about him being compromised. He's going to get compromised. He's going to get pushed. But he's a pretty cool horse. He can run fast fractions and carry on. And I'm sure Frank's just going to put him on the lead. You're going to have to go 44 and change and take your lumps. And he went at 2 starts back in 115 over Stormy Canuck, who's in Phoenix this weekend. But Golden Triumph, I think is your horse to come and catch. I put the true Senior Reign. I agree with your assessment. Second start off the layoff. I mean, I think this horse will be far more effective this time. I know the barn still gets horses to run well off layoffs, but still, he ran into a good Taylor's deal, and I think he'll be. I think 6.5 will suit him better too than the 6 did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I put the 1 horse Mysterious Soul, who could get helped by what should be a very crazy pace. I just think he's going to be the horse that's going to stay out of it. He's going to be last early, going to come rolling on late, maybe complete your triac, or maybe even be able to get more than that. But I put him in for third with Scotty Williams in the tack. But I went to Golden Triumph to win, and I went 5, 2, and 1. A race I didn't like at all. This is a race I think you need to go deep. There's no standout.
This could be the all-button race.
This is a toughie. All right, the 7th and final. Got some maiden 5 granders going on the 16th. I landed on the 3 horse. He's My Bro, a horse that was given I don't know. Wasn't crazy about Amadeo's ride last time. He gives so many good rides. I would have to say that was one of his poor efforts. And I think with a better trip, He's My Bro will be very dangerous. I'm going to put him in the winner's circle. I put the 2 Run Stormy Run in for second. A horse that I don't know if it can go long, but at least it's got some good form sprinting. A little bit, it's tough to go on some of these other ones that have had chances at him on the 16th. They hit the board, but still, they're not taking advantage of weak races and winning. So I just think they may just keep running thirds and fourths, some of these horses. And I put the 4 horse A Fleet Chance in for third. Good runner-up effort to Contact Man. I think you'll appreciate the stretch out. And the filly, even Classic Cheese, will help. The stretch out will help her as well. But I like He's My Bro. I think this horse just didn't get a good trip last time. If you go 2 back, it went a crazy pace with Jeff Birmingham on it. Ran great. I just think this horse got a little bit more to give, so I'm going to try him. 3, 2, 4.
I went with the 7 Brave Spark out of the Troy Taylor barn. Antonio Reyes retains the mount. Antonio Reyes is one of the better riders here at Hastings. I really like Antonio, but he got this horse, as you mentioned, not his best ride. Got this horse in a lot of trouble last time. Got him stopped a few times and only got beat a half a length. He probably should have won that day. For a young horse that's only had 2 starts, one of the things I looked at was his distance number is huge here, 393, and so is his wet number.
It's going to be fast.
413. I don't think it's going to be a fast track. I think we're going to be running over a soggy surface, and both his wet number and his distance numbers tell me that going long in the mud, he should love it. And a horse that I think ran a winning race last time just missed. So I put him on top. Run Stormy Run, as you mentioned, the horse has been knocking on the door. He's going to break through one of these days. Maybe it's going long. Mike Anderson can definitely get a horse ready to go long, so that doesn't bother me at all. Richard Hamill gets back aboard him. And in the 3rd spot, I put a Fleet Chance, as you mentioned, good runner-up second behind Contact Man, and another one that looks like the distance probably won't be a problem for the Son of Mazel trick. I went 7, 2, and 4. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, October 5th card. Up next will be our picks. Mike, you'll be first, as always.
Back in race number 1, I'm going to sneak off to the 2-horse Finally Flying for Clint Wilson. Put the 1 Brown is Beige in for 2nd and the 5 Forever Me 3rd. Second race went to the 7, Coach and Becky. Hopefully the 1 sprint prep race will set her up for a good effort going long, which is her best distance. I went 7, 3, and 6. Race number 3, I think probably the best bet of the day, the 6-horse Excess Dividend. I went 6, 2, and 4. The 4th race went to the 4 Mazel Print over the 7 and 1, but I do think 4 and 7 are your horses. Maybe if you were going to put a skimpy ticket together in the early win 4, 4 and 7 might be the 2 you need. In race number 5, I went to the 8 Lady at War. I went 8, 9, and 4. 6th race, number 5, Golden Triumph over the 2 Senor Rain and the 1 Mysterious Soul, but I think you need quite a few in that one. In the 7th and final, I like the 3. He's my bro. 3, 2, 4.
And up next will be my picks. There we go. In the first, I went to the 1 Brown is Beige over the 6 and the 2. The second, I landed on number 4 Antsy Nancy over the 7 and the 6. In the third, I agree with Mike. Excess Dividend looks like a standout over the 4 and the 2. In the 4th, I went to the 7 Jackman Road over the 1 and the 2. In the 5th, I went to a bit of a shot here, a horse that'll pay good. Number 4 Irish Lyric over the 8 and the 3. In the 6th, I went to number 2 Senior Rain over the 3 and the 5. And in the 7th, I landed on number 7 Brave Spark over the 2 and the 4.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner. Hopefully we've given you a little bit of insight that'll help you make some winning decisions on the Saturday program. Just a quick reminder that racing resumes on Sunday.
Yep.
First race at 1:50. We'd have 8 races for the Sunday program. Hopefully the weatherman will be on our side. And as I said, that'll do it. Thank you for tuning in. On behalf of Drew, we'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill for another edition of Handicapper's Corner.
Can do. I'm picking Valentine, 'cause on the morning line, guys.